GM everyone, Ali Serag here, and I'm going to talk with you about a tool that is game-changing for developers. And if you haven't guessed it already, it has to do with AI. Now, with AI, it's never been easier to build decentralized applications that guarantee our rights to true ownership, that solve problems in human coordination, that generate brand new revenue streams that were never even possible before. At the same time, AI can mess up, and when it does mess up, it could mess up really, really bad. On the one hand, it might be introducing technical exploits into your code that you're not aware of. Think about things like reentrancy guard exploits, things that have cost the industry billions of dollars. Maybe the models are trained on sloppy code or code that's not following best and emerging modern practices. On the other side, maybe your AI is fighting with you, constantly going back and forth. You end up telling it to do one thing, you test out the contracts live on testnet, it's giving you an error you don't really understand, you're copying screenshots, you're sending it back and forth, and it hallucinates again and again and again. Experiences like this tend to bring the vibe out of vibe coding, and they're not fun. If only there was a way that you could absolutely minimize the security risks, hallucination potential, and overall spaghetti code patterns that AI might output, so that you could focus on what really matters, building cool things and locking into your app. Luckily, there is. The Flow Dev plugin does just that. It's available at onflow/AI tools and installs into Chrome in just one line. The most frustrating part of AI-assisted development, fixing what the model got wrong, back and forth with screenshots, all of that stuff, code that doesn't compile, out of the window. There are 10 core skills that ship with the plugin. On the technical side, you have Cadence language fundamentals, a security auditor that follows security best practices and catches anti-patterns and issues with the code right away, scaffolding for NFT and fungible token contracts that conform to the core standards, a React SDK skill with cross-VM hooks for bridging between Flow EVM and Cadence. On the design side, you also get very opinionated skills for things like DeFi architecture and tokenomics, the kind of context you want loaded in from the very start of your project before you make a single commit. The kind of things you want up front instead of after the project has already launched. Here's how it works. You copy the install line right here, paste it directly into the terminal with Claude Code, and that's it. If you look at each skill more carefully, I'm going to open up the auditing skill. You'll see that it has a description in the front matter, that's the top part right here, that specifies exactly when the skill should be invoked and used and when it shouldn't be used at all. This is really cool because you don't have to manually go into Claude Code and say, hey, I want you to use the Cadence auditing or smart contract auditing skill. It will automatically figure out, hey, I'm doing a review of your code right now. I'm going to be looking for things like vulnerabilities, etc. So these things get loaded automatically at the right time in the right place. Now, the skills are written for token efficiency. Metadata sits in the context by default, and the deeper reference material, so if you look here, like at Cadence Lang, you'll see a references folder. It's nestled deeper in, so really it's only calling the additional resources it needs when they're needed and not loading everything into context up front. These skills highlight to Claude exactly when they should work and even how they should work together. One of them might say, if you're working with me to audit your code, you also want to double check the authoritative references to fungible tokens. It looks like you're working on launching a new token. Not only that, by running this command, you're also setting up the Flow Cadence MCP server. Now, one thing worth knowing is that the skills give Claude the knowledge base, whereas the MCP server, which also gets installed with the script, gives Claude the ability to actually do things. Things like type check your contracts, or query the chain, or get the original source code of the contract that you're interacting with. And there you have it. That's one line that gets you all the skills that you need to build faster, build smarter, and build better. Go with the flow.